This is I guess the inaugural episode of
Mm-hmm.
the Game Point podcast. You wanna go
Yes,
ahead and
sir.
introduce yourself?
Um, Big Rich. You can just call me Rich though. I'm
Yes.
from Providence. I'm out here just going to school, doing my thing. I'm passionate about video games. I've been gaming since a youngin. I'll say my first con. I gotta say my first console.
You gotta say
It
first
was
console and favorite game. I feel like we gotta establish.
I. So I'll say my first console. I gotta say my favorite console. My first console ever was a Super Nintendo.
Gang
You
gang.
know what I'm saying? But then quickly I moved to a Sega Genesis, and that was when I really, really like got into gaming.
Fucked up. That was when you really fucked up.
Hell yeah, they're playing Sonic and some Spider-Man game I had, some Toy Story game, bro. It was lit. And but my favorite, like all-time memories, gotta be from the PS2. For
Mm.
me, the PS2 just it's the greatest console of all time. Straight
That,
up, so
that is a
many
whole
games.
episode right there. That statement. Hold on, just because I agree and disagree with that at the same fucking time.
Facts only, and it sold so much because not only did it have all the bangers, like it had all the games, but it was also one of the first things with a DVD player in it.
Mm,
So people used to buy it just for the DVD player, like a lot.
I was
I'm
playing.
sure you've been to mad people's cribs who had a PS2 just for the DVD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my favorite game is tough. I probably would have to say a list, but like far all time, I got to throw a couple Pokemon games in there. You know how that is.
As number one,
Um,
I don't know about
it's
number.
very high up there, but some Pokemon games, some Zelda games. Then as far as PlayStation goes, yeah, I gotta throw Jack and Daxter up there. Jack 2 was like an all-time game for me. GTA San Andreas, that's like throwback shit. And just I also just love open world RPGs. Those are my shit. So I love like going around the world exploring and all that. So
Yeah,
any game that does that, I'm here for.
we got a couple games just like that to talk about in a little bit. I guess I should go ahead and introduce myself as well.
Yeah.
Sky Bento, New Bedford native. Um, and my first console was actually also the Super Nintendo. Um, but my favorite, see, that one's kind of tough. We gonna have to honestly, when it's all said and done, it really might be the Switch. But I feel like I gotta go N64 just for nostalgia's sake. Honestly, completely
Yeah.
nostalgia's sake. But my favorite game is Earthbound. That's my favorite game, like ever.
I ain't never played Earthbound in my life.
Bro, you missing out. I just started fucking with Mother 3 too. Like I gotta make sure I put some time aside to actually just experience that full shit. But
Yeah, I just never came across Earthbound. Like it's just
that's the problem, is like there's
I
such good
never
games. They're
yeah.
so hard to fucking actually like get to play. Like it's ridiculous. They keep
Yeah.
they keep re-releasing it too. Like they do re-release it, just Earthbound, but like they're just not putting enough effort into like keeping that shit alive, honestly, like at all. It's all
Yeah.
easy to just
Oh
like
well, I was gonna go on a rant about Nintendo later, but all I'm gonna say is, Nintendo only cares about the Holy Trinity, Zelda, Mario, Pokemon. That's all they care
nope,
about.
nope, no, no,
And,
no, 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 no.
and Smash. It's if
We
they
can
want to count. Like it's Smash.
we can get back into that in a little.
Yeah.
We do, since we're talking about the Holy Trinity, and that's Trinity number three. I don't know how to make this segue a little bit smoother than that, but E3 just happened. Today was the last day, right?
Yes.
I don't want to date this podcast, but
Uh,
it ended today,
I
right?
don't know. After Nintendo's, I don't know what happened. Probably some smaller stuff got shown. But I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I'm honestly, after 2020, I really did think E3 was dead. So I'm just happy to have this, you know, time of year to feel like it did before, the world went crazy and ended and shit, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, E3. They had one last year, but it was all digital. Remember? That's when they showed off the PS5 and well, was that E3 or was
It was like
that was like their own
or
conference, right?
something. They
Yeah,
called
that was
it
their
that.
own separate thing. I don't even think it was E3, but
Which they're still doing. They're doing that this year. They are.
well, no, there was an E3, but Sony didn't go last year, just
Nah,
like this
there
year.
was no E3 in 2020, bro.
You sure?
They did like a summer game fest thing where they still had like companies sending in trailers that they put online. But
Okay,
oh, because
I don't
E3 is
know.
in person. You know what I mean? Like it's in person.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think it did get canceled last year, but this year was all digital. It was just,
Nah,
you know, there was no crowd or nothing like that.
they still had the okay, well, yeah, nah, you're probably right, but I know like a lot of companies like Nintendo specifically do the treehouse shit. So like it still has an in-person kind of component to it, even though it's not like publicly available, I guess.
Yeah, I
But
mean, but Nintendo's they were just in that red room with the
yeah,
two dudes. I forgot their names.
I don't even know either. I don't watch that part. I honestly just watch the direct and I'll go back.
Uh,
I like
the heads of Nintendo and shit.
yeah, I'm just subscribed. So if something comes up on the YouTube feed where I'm like, oh, this looks like a good little highlight, I'll watch that quick video. And
Yeah,
gameplay footage. I do watch real quick when I see like little gameplay videos.
I mean, it's all CGI trailers for the most part, you
Yeah,
know.
facts.
But E3 was pretty trash this year for the most part. It started off with I think Ubisoft went first, and Ubisoft was just terrible. Like,
I mean, it's
and
again.
then
I think we should preface E3 being trash with the fact that we just got E3 back. It's still like, especially with Japanese companies and shit. This this pandemic shit is still affecting these companies, so they are still like kind of going through a drought for the most part. Um,
yeah,
it's like one or two like big games it seems like coming from like every company right now. Um, but yeah, my fault. I didn't want to cut you off. Continue.
yeah. So yeah, Ubisoft and like Ubisoft is kind of just trash to me these days. Like I used to love the Assassin's Creed games, and lately they just
They made
been
it.
kind of lame to me. Huh?
I said, and then they made it annual. I feel like that was where they fucked up.
Yeah, it's just I don't like how they made it mad like RPG like too, which is weird because I like RPGs, but I don't know. Assassin's Creed, like I want that different kind of gameplay where you're just focused on being an assassin and shit. All that extra stuff is like weird, and it's just it looks boring. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
but I miss Prince of Persia. Those were my I used to love those games.
that's
But
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft just yeah, but Ubisoft just yeah, that's the one I put Ubisoft on the map. It's Prince of Persia.
I always thought Rayman was like their first big like thing.
Mm, I think Prince of Persia games have been out since like the 90s though. So
Yeah, nah, they demoed.
yeah, so I don't know. But they don't really mess with their old franchises like Splinter Cell and Prince of Persia and all that. They're trash.
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah,
time.
so yeah, damn, yeah, Square Enix, which was like I
No,
kind of hate Square Enix because I don't have a PS5 and they just kind of always throw their stuff on PS5 only. It's like I'm like, yo, you might as well let Sony buy you guys because they're just not fucking with the Xbox right now. I'm just like, damn, yo. So I have not played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I love Final Fantasy VII, but I
um,
just haven't got the chance to because I haven't had a PlayStation in a while. I had a PS4 last year, and like I pretty much 100% of the Spider-Man game, and then I played God of War a little bit. And that's all I pretty much had of it.
it's just we got
But
a whole rank
Square Enix is pretty
Final
lame too.
Fantasy thing. I got a whole Final Fantasy episode in me one day, dog. Like I really do, and I'm not even the biggest like Final Fantasy fan, but I feel like
It's one
they
of those GOAT games, man. It's one of those GOAT genre. I mean, GOAT franchises.
hell yeah, especially the Seven remake. But again, we can get into that. I don't want to go through every topic we could possibly have. Um, right now because we will be here for 6 hours honestly
Yeah,
like,
facts. Because I yeah, for sure.
if I go through that. Um, So that was day one, right? That was Saturday. That was Ubisoft.
Uh,
Uh,
Ubisoft was like Friday, I think. Square Enix was like Saturday. They showed off that Guardians of the Galaxy game too. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. I seen that in the Nintendo joint. It looked like a Guardians of the Galaxy game. It looked like the Avengers when they did, but like it didn't look
It looked
super.
kind of janky. Like I don't know. Like,
It looked like a PS2 game,
I wouldn't say PS2, but
not
it
graphics
just
wise, but I mean gameplay. It doesn't look like nothing we couldn't have had on the PS2.
my issue with it is just like the out of all the superheroes,
Right.
we're getting Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, okay, that movie was cool and all that. Just like, come on, you could have gave me X-Men, fucking Iron Man, the Hulk. Like, can I get some cool ones? Like, you giving me
What I think
Star
they
Lord?
they
Like,
gotta do is because they did the Spider-Man joint, the PS4 exclusive Spider-Man joint, and then now they got the PS5 Miles Morales. So they're definitely like franchising that. I think they need to make one superhero series for each platform. Honestly, I think Guardians of the Galaxy don't work specifically because again, it's like they're trying to do the Avengers shit again. It's a team. You can only play as Star Lord, so like, why are you
yeah,
making Guardians of the Galaxy?
yeah, exactly. And
Like,
he only plays one person.
but what they could do is like, I mean, Iron Man's, spoilers for a 3-year-old movie at this point, but Iron Man's dead. There's no more Iron Man movies. That nigga's
Yeah, but
dead.
it doesn't have to follow the MCU. It could just be
But
its
that's what I'm
own.
saying. Now they can make a whole nother video game franchise of that to keep the Iron Man brand going. Because there's gonna
Yeah,
be nothing coming from Iron Man. They got all these toys that they sold off Iron Man. They want to sell more Iron Man, so he's Iron Man. So like,
and it's like, yo, you could make such a dope Iron Man game if they
yeah,
really put their all into it.
like
Like,
they did with the Spider-Man shit. Like I would love to like
yeah,
Arkham Asylum and Arkham Origins, those Batman Arkham games. They could totally do like an Iron Man version of that, but like obviously with more in line with like the Spider-Man joints in terms of just how open the world is and how free flowing the gameplay is. Just because Iron Man has more like he just has a more freeing set of powers. I feel like just as a body to control. You know what I mean? Whereas Batman,
yeah. And it's like, as
but
much as like I would love a Superman game, for example, that would probably be hard because like Superman's invincible. So it's
yeah,
like,
Superman's whack. I'm gonna just say
how
that
do
now.
you?
Fuck Superman. I don't ever want to play a Superman game.
Hey,
I don't ever want to watch a
hey,
Superman movie. I don't want to
hey.
read a Superman comic. I don't like Superman. Like I
You do
don't
realize
like it.
Goku's a ripoff of Superman, though, right?
Absolutely. But yo, I seen some fire ass bootlegs when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Bootleg scary movies, you had extra shadows
Yeah.
and shit. So I'm cool with a ripoff being better than the original, and that's what Goku is. And
I
technically
mean,
speaking, he's Goku's only a ripoff of Superman in America because the way that they like dubbed the shit. In Japan, that nigga is not Superman. The only thing they
yeah,
took from
but
him was the alien backstory that they made some whole other shit out of.
I mean they took a lot though. Like
Nah.
alien kid gets sent to Earth by his parents because the planet blows up.
But
He
that
gets
was
raised
later.
by
That
some
wasn't the
random
backstory.
dude.
That wasn't the backstory when they made
Oh no, wait,
it.
hold on though. And then when Raditz came in the Saiyan saga, that's the same thing with Superman with the bad guy, what's his face? From Krypton that came to
Bizarro,
Earth and
right? Is that Bizarro?
uh no, that's not Bizarro's like crazy Superman. Damn, I forgot it's escaping me right now. But I'm burnt.
Well, Raditz did it better.
But
Raditz did it better.
yeah, yeah, but that whole Saiyan saga, that was the same shit as the Superman plot when the people from Krypton came to find him and shit,
But
and
Superman
they fought
never
him. And...
fought Frieza after all that. You know what I mean? So they did some whole other shit with it, is what I'm saying.
okay, after that, fine, but that whole first part of Dragon Ball Z is Superman. The whole beginning to the Saiyan saga
Mm,
is Superman.
yeah, but that's 200 something episodes or manga chapters in that Goku's already been established. They did that extra shit.
Yeah,
They
but
paid homage to this nigga. They said, yeah, what you doing over here is cute, but we got this nigga Goku that's way better. We're just gonna take some of the shit that you did and we're gonna show you how to do it better. You know what I mean? It's like when Lil Wayne seen T-Pain using
Mhm.
auto tune and was like, "That's cool, but I'm gonna do this shit with it." And now everybody doesn't copy T-Pain doing it; they copy what Lil Wayne did with it. But
I mean, if you want to see it that way, but I'm just saying, don't diss Superman because your boy came from Superman. That's all. Like, you gotta pay respect to OGs.
I
That's
mean,
all, man.
I respect Superman. I just don't like Superman, and it's fuck Superman over here.
And I be wanting to check you about that Batman slander too, man. I ain't feeling that Batman slander.
I seen it.
Bats is my boy, dog.
Yo,
Bats is
I
my
love
man's.
Batman. I love Batman. I'll go hard for Batman. I do really like Batman. But dog, the Batman slander tweets just be having me dying. Like, I seen one today that said
It
Batman
is
can use
funny,
all
yo.
his superpowers to Bernie Sanders. I lost my shit, my I lost my shit. Nigga. Get audited by
Oh
the IRS,
shit.
everything gone, bro. Like
That's funny.
Alfred, nigga said, out your fucking Batman is fucking just beating up mentally ill senior citizens at 3 a.m. Like for no reason, nigga. Like, and if Alfred's on vacation and someone kills Lucius, nigga, that nigga's toast. He needs other niggas. He,
Hey man, he's smart though. He'll figure it out.
he'll
He'll
figure
figure
it
it out.
out, but like he like it's just I like the nigga. I like the nigga. I'm not gonna say too much Batman slander myself because personally I don't agree with all of it, but it's funny as fuck, and he's not as hard to get up out of here as people make it out to seem. Of course, they have him beating Superman because it's interesting because Superman's fucking invincible, and
Yeah,
they have
it's
to have
plot
someone.
armor. They make him find kryptonite or whatever. Yeah, plot
Yeah.
armor.
So if anybody's gonna beat Superman, yeah, it's gonna be the normal nigga you don't expect it to, just because that's interesting from a story perspective.
Yeah, I mean Superman's beating on Goku. That's a whole other thing now.
Oh man, we're not doing that
But anyways, back to E3.
today.
Before we went off on that tangent. But uh but yeah, so Square Enix, that Guardians game, could have picked a whole nother superhero.
Yeah.
Not really that interesting. They showed off this. They're like remaking the Final Fantasy one, the original one. That was
Really?
like,
3D?
yeah, yeah. They're making a. It looks like Final Fantasy remake, Final Fantasy seven
Ooh.
remake.
Are they doing
But everyone's
turn-based
killing
though?
it right now. Nah, it's like action. I think.
Like the Kingdom Hearts style that they keep,
Yeah,
basically.
and people are killing it though because the main character looks like very generic, and then like
I mean, he
they're
was.
killing other things about it. The game's like mad broken apparently for some reason. I don't know. It's weird.
Wait, back in Final Fantasy One, they didn't even have character names, right? It was just like classes. It was like you'd pick the thief and the mage and the
I
like. They didn't have.
think so no, I think like the main character's name was like Warrior or Light. Like I don't think he had a name. And the bad guy's name was Chaos. Like it wasn't really like
Well, yeah, the bad guys are always like characters. I know that much, but I could have swore like the original ones, it was literally like Dungeons and Dragons shit, where you just pick like a random like type of like hero and shit.
I don't think it was, but yeah. So they're remaking that. And it looks cool. I'm hoping it's multiplat and not another freaking exclusive for PlayStation.
Nah, they
Uh,
would definitely do. They would definitely bring that to Nintendo. I think.
I mean, Final Fantasy VII remake might come to the Xbox at the end of the year, possibly.
Oh,
That's when their deal is up,
there's no
huh?
way Final Fantasy VII is just gonna be Sony.
Not just, but oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not.
It's because it was only
Too
a time
big.
exclusive deal for a year, but then I guess April was a year, but then it got re up for like another 6 months because of the intergrade DLC. I guess
Yeah.
caused the
I was.
contract to extend. So I'm like, damn man, when I need this to come to the Xbox, dog, to Game Pass, hopefully.
It has to. There's no way it's not going to. It's just it's stupid that they're even doing the exclusive deal with Sony for Final Fantasy VII Remake because the original was, Sony exclusive. I get that, but it's a completely different era now. It doesn't make sense to do the only console exclusives that should be made at this point, like industry wide, are first party shit. You know what I mean? If it's made by the company that makes the platform, then yeah, absolutely, it should be exclusive to that platform. Like Nintendo should keep, only making shit for them. Xbox should keep, their Microsoft IPs only on their platforms. Sony should do the same. But with shit like Square Enix, where it's like second party, well, I mean third party at that point, because they don't even own Square Enix at all. Like, I think they should, especially with games as big as Final Fantasy. Like, why would you want to sell less? That's
Yeah,
basically
especially when, well, I mean, there's a lot of PS4s and fives out there, so. But as far as like the last Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 15 was on the Xbox day one. So I'm just like, so now the next game you're gonna make it exclusive, and Final Fantasy 16 is gonna be exclusive. It's just like that's just whack. That's why I'm saying like Sony might as well just buy them at this point. Like if you're only gonna all your best games, you're gonna just make it for PlayStation 5. Like fuck it, just let Sony buy you guys, and at least let me know what it is to my face. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, the worst part is Sony, the fucking company that got this big ass exclusive in Final Fantasy VII Remake, is saying fuck E3. Like, we're never gonna see that game at E3 until it comes to other platforms.
Yeah.
Because they're done with the shit. I thought everybody was done with E3 after it didn't happen last year, but I mean, it makes sense for Nintendo specifically because like ever since they did the robot chicken shit, they can always do some wild like they already do direct so frequently, they can always do a direct and theme it and like make it.
Yeah, they can drop it whenever. Like
Yeah,
it kind of eliminates the need for E3. But
right.
E3 is just so classic. Like I like how it's a gamer's Christmas. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I like having that one day. Okay, we're gonna see from everybody what's coming. Like E3
exactly.
used to be the shit. Like so, I'm just saying it's kind of sad to be like, yeah, now it's gonna be just these random little presentations.
Yeah, I thought that was where everything was headed industry wide anyway, and like the pandemic kind of just was the nail in the coffin for E3 last year. So I was very surprised to see that it came back this year. But like, yeah, it was just good to know that okay, there's going to be like no ifs, ands, or buts, concrete gaming news on this date for these couple of days. It's gonna be a bunch of shit all at once. Like, yeah, like you said, gaming Christmas. Like Nintendo does their directs all throughout the year, but it's nice to know, okay, in June they're gonna have a big ass one with like mad shit in it. It might not all be the most fire shit in the world, but they do mad shit for E3. Like they've never come with like two games and been like, okay, this is all we have. Like,
Yeah. So personally, I hope E3 doesn't go away. Like
yeah,
I don't want to see it go away.
not at all. If it does, it's gonna be replaced by something. They tried to replace it by the Summer Game Fest, and that was a fucking fail.
But
But
yeah, Summer Game Fest sucks.
but if they do it right, they could definitely make like a virtual E3, like completely virtual. Like you could play like actual demos and shit through like the E3 like time frame through your system or something like that. Like they could do stuff. They could do like a lot of really cool stuff with the E3 concept.
Yeah, but usually they don't have demos ready when they're showing off the games at E3.
Well, yeah, some of them, but like there are a lot of like games that they have at E3 that they specifically make E3 demos for. So like,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, at least for those games, you know what I mean, that they already would be making E3 demos for, just put them right on the system for like that E3 period. Like you don't even have to make it like a demo you'll have forever. Like just make it so it keeps the time of E3. It keeps it having that like Christmas feeling, like you're looking forward to it. Like this is what it is, and once it's over, it's over. Like you don't have that demo no more, and
Right.
obviously you still have like the gameplay videos and the reveal trailers. Those will always be on YouTube, but like at least with the demos, so you can get into the hype of yo, this just got revealed. I need to play it, and it would take away the like all the lines and shit that people that actually go to E3 have to deal with. Like it would make it way easier for media to cover it. Like I don't know, it's just better for everybody. Everything's going more remote now anyway. Like
Yeah.
even with shit opening up, like
So yeah, so all those companies, their E3s were kind of whack. Then you got Xboxes, which I thought was really good for, well, I kind of wanted a little more, but
I
they
was
got the
gonna say,
job done.
I've seen no like I never. like watched their conference or presentation and that, but like I have been just skimming through articles to like just see what has been announced. And like I've seen like a couple of headlines. I haven't seen nothing that popped out to me at all. And the articles that I looked at for like E3 highlights had all Nintendo shit. And it wasn't like I was going to Nintendo websites. I was going to like unbiased, like regular E3 websites. And it was just like they had like five things, and four of them were Nintendo shit, and one was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, okay. So at Xbox's show, I mean, Nintendo's was pretty short. That shit was like 30 minutes, if that.
It's always that.
My
It's always like 30, 40.
Xbox was like an hour and a half.
Jesus.
That's how much they showed.
Announce what?
Yes.
Like what
Um.
shit?
So the first game they came out with and showed off was Starfield. I mean, it wasn't gameplay. Are you familiar with Starfield?
Not really, honestly. Like I think I've heard that name.
So
It's not like
Bethesda,
right?
the company that makes the Fallout games and the Elder Scrolls games,
Oh, okay.
they're coming out with a new project called Starfield, and basically it's gonna be like how Todd Howard explained it. He's like the head of Bethesda.
Mm.
How he explained it was it's gonna be like Fallout in space. Well, he said Skyrim in space.
That sounds fire, actually.
Yeah, he said it's gonna be like a Han Solo simulator. That's how he described it.
That's
So
game.
I'm like, yeah, so I'm like, that's lit. I mean, they only showed like this CGI trailer that they said was like using the game's graphics, but I'm like, come on, the game ain't gonna look like that because it was like a CGI trailer. They didn't show any gameplay, so people were disappointed about that. But the game's supposed to drop next November of 22.
Oh, 22.
Yeah,
Man, I hate them 22 announcements. But
yeah, because it's mad far away. I'm like, man, I'm trying to play this now.
yeah, like yo, just save that for next E3, man. Like don't give it, don't give it to me now, but like I don't know. I feel like put more energy into what you got coming now, coming this
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. But then you want to show off the bangers though. Like you want to let people know, like, yo, the bangers are coming. I guess
year.
it's marketing. It's to get them excited or whatever. But so the big as far as the big games go, they showed that. They showed Halo Infinite. And what's interesting about that game is, I don't know if you saw, but last year the game was getting killed because they showed off the campaign mode and like the graphics were looking bad.
Yeah.
So everyone was like clowning it, mad memes online, how Twitter does.
Yeah.
And they were just killing it. So everyone was just mad concerned about Halo. Then you saw like every time there's like some turmoil, media companies try to dig and try to see, oh, what's wrong. So they're starting to write hit pieces about the freaking 343 Industries, the developers. They're like, oh yeah, we heard this is going on. We heard that's going on. Stuff is leaking and all this shit. So I'm over here thinking like, damn, like Halo's about to be a failure because Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
what happened to that game.
Oh my god.
So they saw the state Halo was in last year, and everyone thought, oh, like Halo's about to be another Cyberpunk. It's gonna come out. It's gonna disappoint everybody. Probably be mad buggy. It's gonna look like shit. Blah blah. And they showed off the Halo Infinite multiplayer, and that should look fire. Like it's crazy to see like the conversation did a whole 180 on that game because now on Twitter I'm not seeing much hate like I saw last year. Everyone's like, oh, that looks dope, this and that, because they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff with their multiplayer, and the
Shit.
graphics look a lot better. All that.
When's it coming?
Uh,
Not this year.
so they didn't announce a release date, and that's concerning people. They're like, what the hell? Like,
Well,
oh,
they
what's going
probably
on
seen
now?
all the
Where's
negative.
the release date?
They seen all the negative press, and now they're probably like, all right, well, we're not putting it out nowhere near like this. So they gave us a little taste now to be like,
Yeah,
oh,
they just saying holiday 21.
oh okay. So it is, yeah. So it's
We're,
2021.
they just said holiday though. That could be November, December, like.
Yeah, but that's still this year. So at least okay. So it is a lot closer.
Yeah.
Like
So, but some people are speculating because they didn't give us an exact date that they're gonna push it back again.
yeah,
Because they just pushed it back a year after what happened last year. They
yeah.
pushed it back. It was supposed to come out last year for the launch of the Series X, but they pushed
Uh,
it back a whole year, which was a good idea because now it's supposed to come out and be a much better game as a result.
yeah.
Actually, Cyberpunk could have used another year in the oven.
could have used another two from everything I heard.
Facts, yeah.
Yeah,
So
all them damn
I'm gonna
glitches.
still cop it though when that next gen version comes out. I'm gonna still cop Cyberpunk. Fuck it.
You think they're doing the next gen
I want
version?
to see what that do. That's what they're saying. Yeah, they're working on the next gen version. It's just taking forever.
they should just. I don't like that they do that. I wish they would just make more sequels. Like stop giving the same game
Yeah, but you
over and
can't
over
just put
again.
out some trash and then not fix it. Like,
Well, yeah, but like sometimes you get a not trash, but you get a mediocre game that has like some dope ideas. That's what gets everybody hyped for the mediocre game in the first place. And then the game ain't as good, but you do a sequel and that shit fixes all shit from the first game. Like that used to happen all the time when we was kids. There was mad
yeah,
like,
but it has to be playable though. Like, it
oh
can't be
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
They didn't patch it.
crashing
They
and
patched Cyberpunk though.
yeah, they patched it a lot, but there's still issues on like the base PS4 and the base Xbox One.
Mm.
Like it can't run
Fix
it
that
that
for the
well.
next gen one. Like, well, not next gen, but fix that for the sequel. Like,
Yeah, so they recommend you play it on at least like a PS4 Pro or One X.
yeah, just so I could handle the shit.
Yeah, but the best way to play it is on the new consoles or PC. But
I mean, that's always that's
yeah,
always.
so they showed off Halo Infinite, looked fire. I'm happy because I wanted to see Halo make a comeback. I'm a Halo head. Well, I got into Halo madly. I got in like Halo 3, the Xbox 360
Like I said,
era.
Halo had you got into the third one.
Yeah, Xbox 360 era. But I went back and played the old ones.
Hey, you could be a Halo head and get into it with Halo 2, but 3 at that point, my nigga, this is already a multi-billion-dollar franchise that already changed the
Nah,
industry
but
twice.
you know
Like
they got the Master Chief collection, which got all of the old ones on it. So I went back and played the campaign of all the old ones.
still holds up.
And yeah,
Classic.
yes, yep. So I'm playing co-op with my boy on that. So yeah, I'm just glad. Like I feel like I can breathe easy now, knowing that Halo looks good. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh please Lord, don't let this game drop and it's a disaster. But now it's looking and like it's really good, and I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm like, weight off my shoulders. Like
Right,
I'm
right.
like, all right. Well, I'm still not sure. You got to come out and we got to see, but it made me breathe a little easier. So yeah, they showed off Halo. They showed off some game called Stalker 2, which is like an open world first person shooter. You don't do first person shooters like that, right?
Yeah, nah, FPS is bore me. They
I
bore,
love
bore me. They don't
FPSs.
make me dizzy, but like it's it's either this so much going on where it's like just not interesting to me, or there's not enough going on. Like it's too slow and too precise. Like I don't like 1v1 FPSs at all. It gotta be like team based and shit like that. And like I don't know, it just never. The only FPS obviously that I fucked with was like Metroid Prime. That was my shit.
Yeah,
But like that's not.
I
That would
yeah,
be fire
FPSs.
multiplayer FPS, by the way. Like if they did like a real, like they tried to do it on the DS and shit, but like if they did like a real like console FPS, like multiplayer with the Metroid shit with like all the extra
That's
missiles,
what I hope Metroid is. I hope it's a FPS.
they're gonna do that with well we get back to that. We get back to that because we
Yeah,
got
true,
we
true,
got a
true.
whole lot of Nintendo talk to do.
So yeah, there's this game called Stalker 2. It's not like a competitive multiplayer or anything. It's an open world,
Mm.
and it's like kind of a horror game. And there's like demons and shit that come out of nowhere and attack you, and there's like I didn't play Stalker 1. I have no idea what it's about, but it looks really dope.
It's
Like the
exclusive.
graphics look crazy. Nah, it's exclusive for 3 months, and then it's going to PS5. Which
Yeah.
is like, what's the point of that? But it's coming to Game Pass day one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, which
So that's it. So one thing that Xbox really highlighted, so they showed off 30 games, I think it was, and 27 of them are coming to Game Pass.
that's
Yeah, so you pay your $10 a month, you get all of them games for free day one and shit. So
that's
that's
really the
that's
future.
the that's the competitive advantage Xbox decided to build up with Sony because they know they couldn't catch up with the first party exclusives fast enough.
Yeah, not at all.
So they built this Game Pass thing. So they said, let's kind of create our own lane a little bit, create a Netflix of gaming.
I was about to say, yeah, it's everything's headed towards streaming. Like music's obviously already there. Like it makes sense that gaming would go there too. Like it's
Yeah.
just crazy that
So
Xbox is the only shit that has that now. Like that's just
and they're trying to go farther with it too. So what they're doing that's really dope. They want to put make TVs like smart TVs. They'll have like a Netflix app, and
yeah,
they want to have an Xbox app without the actual Xbox, like just a Game Pass app, and then you stream the games through Microsoft servers.
yeah.
You stream the games straight to your TV.
They've been rumoring that coming to Switch for the longest too. Like I don't know if it's
Yeah, I
actually
don't know if that's
happening, but
they should let it happen. Let me tell you something. If they drop a Switch Pro and they put Game Pass on the Switch, I'll definitely buy one.
that would actually be fun.
But
That would actually be
yeah.
a crazy selling point for the pro because I've been wondering like what are they gonna do for the pro besides giving them crazy, graphical upgrades, more processing power, more memory, all the regular shit. Like what really are they going to do? Because like the Switch, yeah, it's
Okay.
a couple years old, but it's not.
Well, yeah.
I
When we
get
get to Nintendo, I'll break it down for you, real shit. So Xbox, yeah. So they showed off that game Stalker 2. It looks really dope. The graphics look sick. Um, then they had Forza Horizon 5, which is an open world racing game. It's like an arcade
yeah,
racer.
I'm hip to
That
Forza.
I
I didn't know it
love
was
the
open
Forza
world.
games. Huh?
I didn't know that it was open world.
So
Forza,
there's two different Forza series. You got Forza Motorsport, which is
the regular
the
race,
sim racer. Yeah, it's like a simulation racer. And you got the Forza Horizon series, which is the open
yeah.
world joint.
Like
Yeah,
Burnout.
so
Kinda.
yeah, kind of like the Need for Speed Underground. Do you
That's
mess with racing games?
Burnout was my shit. Need for Speed was cool. I never had it, but like I played it at friends' houses and shit. PS2 era. But Burnout was my like. I still have Burnout. I still got it on PS2. I got it for Switch now. Like I love Burnout. That's my
Yeah.
favorite like racing shit. No cap.
Yeah, so what's dope about Forza Horizon 5 is like for a while now they've been adding a lot of like arcadey stuff. Like they got so you got your core like racing
Mhm.
experience where you go to the races, you get cars, customize your cars or whatever. And they also got a lot of stuff on the side too. Like they got mini games that you could do with your cars, like bowling and shit. And they
Right.
got a battle royale where you knock other cars out. It's like they're doing a lot of crazy stuff with it. And the graphics look insane. I don't know if you got to look it up because Microsoft has this technology now where they're doing like something called photo imagery or something like that in these games,
Yeah.
and it looks like photorealistic, like the mountains and shit like that.
That's all that they can do with these graphics. It's been a while since graphics have impressed me at all. That's what makes it so easy for me to stick with my Switch. Is because like graphics just do not move me. Shit has looked real for like years now, and it's like yeah, shit looks a little bit better, but like if it's not like blowing me away, then like I don't care. Like I could
Now, but right now, okay, so if you want to look at like fire ass graphics, there's certain games like right now you got to look at Forza Horizon 5, what they showed at E3. That shit looks sick. You got to look up the Microsoft Flight Sim. You ever heard about that?
I just saw flight sim. Nah, teacher had to
So they have
get
a
pilot.
yeah. So they have a flight simulator
They
where you
stole
just
that from
fly
Nintendo,
planes.
nigga. We had pilot wings.
Microsoft Flight Sim's been around for like 20 years now, bro.
Nigga, so it's pilot wings. Pilot wings with Super Nintendo.
Shit. Nah, this is like this is a simulator though. Like this is like real flying. Like
Nigga, I could get my license if I beat
it's not
pilot,
no
bro.
eight
That
bit
shit is
shit.
hard. That
It
shit is
ain't no
hard.
8-bit shit. Oh, 24-bit, whatever that was, 16-bit. But yeah. So Flight Sim is like photorealistic graphics, and then you got what Sony just showed off, Horizon Forbidden West,
Mm.
which is the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, like the PlayStation 5 exclusive. Those graphics look sick. Like it looks crazy. So that's graphics. You gotta look up those three, and you'll be like, oh shit, nah, this looks dope.
Are they next gen exclusive though?
So Flight Sim is Forza Horizon 5 is gonna be cross-gen, so it's gonna be available for Xbox
But
One.
that rules that out because there's gonna be some shit holding that back. I wanna see explicitly like, yo, this is just next gen because like obviously
Me too, because I have next gen. Me too. But it's kind of selfish. Like a lot of
gen
people can't
just
get these
aren't
consoles right now.
gens aren't what they used to be, man. They're just not.
Nah, but so boom. So here it is. So another thing Microsoft announced like recently was so they're gonna allow like they're coming out with something where you can stream next gen games from an Xbox One. So you can literally make these
Downgrade it.
games just for as far as like you can make these games just for next gen,
Mhm.
but then Microsoft has a technology for you to be able to still stream it from the Xbox One. So it doesn't compromise the next gen version.
That's
You can
what's
still
so
play
fire
it.
about this streaming shit. Like on it, this is why I don't really fuck with Sony anymore because it's like I like
They're not,
industry
yeah.
progress. What Xbox is doing with this Game Pass shit, like okay, that's something that changes the game. You gotta tip your hat to that. Like
You got Game Pass?
I don't have Xbox, I got Switch. I never
okay,
had Xbox. I fucked with Sony as a kid. That was the only thing I ever had. Well, I had the original Xbox, but I didn't have it when it came out.
bro. For you, no bullshit. For you, since you're not like a graphics buff, like you're not like someone who gives like a crazy shit about graphics. You should like a Series S would be perfect. If you do a little white joint,
Yeah, yeah.
that would be perfect for you, bro. Because they got all sorts of shit on there that you would like, bro. All the RPGs and JRPGs. They got all the there's
I
mad
don't
stuff
even
on
play
Game Pass.
RPGs no more, man. I wish I could because I
What
like
you be playing then? Platformers and
Yeah, honestly, mostly it's platformers, adventure games. I still love my side scrollers. I like going left to right and up and down and like Metroidvanias and shit like that. Like,
you
I
know a
like shit.
game you would love, bro.
What?
That's on Game Pass. Near Automata. Have you ever heard about it,
Yeah, yeah, I have heard of that. They were saying like
bro?
the character
You
might.
would love that game.
It's
It's
like
like an
a
anime
Bayonetta,
game,
right?
huh?
It's kind of like a Bayonetta, right?
So it plays like that. Like it's an open world act like hack and slash type of shit, but it's like there's a lot of RPG elements to it.
Devil May Cry type.
The story's dope. Like it's kind of crazy. Like I feel like you'd like it a lot. So I feel like a series because you gotta experience these games, bro. You gotta free yourself from the shackles of Nintendo.
I know, I know.
You miss out on so
I gotta
much.
free myself from the shackles of capitalism first. Because
Okay.
that's what's keeping me with Nintendo. It's
All
like I'm
right.
trying to spend all this money on all these systems, all these games and shit. That like I still got games on my Switch I haven't played. My backlog is serious. So I'm like,
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah,
just
mine too.
and shit on sale. Like they keep getting me with these little $14, $20 games where I'm like, oh, that looks kind of fire. And that's why Game Pass would like be suit. Like if I had
You
Xbox,
save a lot.
I would definitely do just Game Pass. Like I don't think I would buy.
Like,
I would just
have
do.
you ever the Ori series too? I feel like you'd love those
Yeah,
games.
that's on my backlog on the Switch, nigga. Because it's on the Switch now.
Bro, I'm telling you. See, I got both of them for free. I played the first one. Now I'm playing the sequel. I'm just like Game Pass got all the old Final Fantasy games. Like,
Uh,
well, a lot of them. Bro, like I'm telling you, the
so
Series S, which is the cheapest one, and it's easy to find. I think it's like $299.
yeah, see, so I could do that. I could definitely do that.
You
300.
grab that up.
Yeah.
You get the. It gives you the free couple, however many months of Game Pass.
Oh, it comes with yeah. Oh hell yeah. Okay,
Yeah, it's like 3 months, I think, or something like that for free.
that's a bet. That's a big bet.
And you get all them games right off the bat. And the new games coming out that you're gonna get day one, bro. It's a no brainer.
It makes a lot of sense. It definitely does make a lot.
That's why if they threw that shit on the Switch, both companies would benefit. Microsoft gets Game Pass subs,
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo gets mad games on its system, and people that'll buy it for to
Nintendo
play
made me
Xbox.
like Microsoft, man. They honestly
Huh?
made me like Microsoft because I was like, yo, what the fuck is up with these niggas? Like, they're not being PlayStation. They're not being PlayStation. And then I peeped the Game Pass shit and I'm like, oh. And then I just kept hearing, like, obviously, I keep seeing them working with Nintendo. So
The
I,
value of it just rise and rise, right?
yeah, yeah. Nah, Xbox is, it's Microsoft. Microsoft
Yeah,
is,
I love my Xbox. It's just, but I gotta be real. Like, yeah, Sony kicked their ass last gen.
yeah, hell yeah.
Like, they fucked them
Sony
up. They
kicked that
they
ass.
Sony dropped so many bangers, huh?
Sony has kicked that ass from jump.
Yeah.
You
So I
could
mean,
say
Xbox.
360 maybe, but that's the only time. Xbox was not better than
Okay,
PS2.
but here's the thing, right? And this is what you always say in music. We're talking influence, right?
Yeah,
So when they dropped Halo revolutionized like FPS,
yeah, absolutely.
and Halo 2 made console online play like popular, bro. Like online gaming on consoles.
Mhm.
It made that shit hot. Right? I remember Halo 2 when I was on the PS2, people talking about it playing online. I'm like, what? Playing online? Like, because
But
Xbox Live, like,
I feel like that got bigger with the 360. I feel like on the
yeah,
original
it
Xbox,
exploded with the 360, but
yeah,
Halo 2 like was when I first started hearing about people playing online because PS2 barely had that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it had
You had
something
to
like
get an
that.
adapter for it.
Yeah, and then, like it was just it didn't pop off like that. I didn't know anybody that was using it. But Halo 2, I was hearing about that everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah,
So
influence is key. Influence is key. That's why I'm saying the only time they really beat Sony was with the 360.
yeah,
I think. I think.
even though the PlayStation 3 ended up selling more by the end of the gen, but
Yeah, but it still felt like overall, like that was the closest.
just that was an era. Like,
Yeah, because that was right after the PS3. So I mean, right after the PS2. So obviously everyone said, okay, we can trust the brand. You know what I mean? So they just went to the
yeah,
three. But
Yeah, so yeah, Microsoft Xbox, they showed off that. They showed off Outer Worlds 2. Like that's just a CGI trailer, but the original Outer Worlds is really dope. Do you like the Fallout style games?
nah, Fallout was never my shit.
So there's this
I don't like
company
apocalypse shit,
Obsidian,
honestly.
this developer.
I don't like apocalypse shit. Now that I think about it,
You
like I
don't?
watch
Why?
movies. I don't know. Like the most apocalyptic thing I've ever liked was Breath of the Wild. Like
Okay,
that
so yeah, that ain't that don't have the apocalyptic feel like that.
exactly because they did that whole other like, oh, this is the Breath of the Wild. Like I don't know, they did some whole other shit with it.
Yeah, so they show Outer Worlds 2, it's made by Obsidian, which is their developer that Xbox owns now.
Mm-hmm.
And they've become one of my favorite developers because they've been making a lot of bangers. My first game I played from them was Fallout New Vegas, which is Bethesda is the one that
That's
normally makes
Fallout, right?
Fallout games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bethesda normally makes Fallout games, but they kind of like do what Bethesda's doing. So like they made an Outer Worlds first, which is like a space game, and now Bethesda's making Starfield. They're kind of mad. They do a lot of the same stuff. It's weird.
Petty shit. I
And they
mean, the
both made a
industry does a
Fallout
lot of
game.
the same
Like
stuff. Nothing's original no more.
yeah, so and I'm looking forward to Avowed, which is an Obsidian. It's their take on a Skyrim. It takes place in the same type of thing, but it's like a next gen only one. So Xbox is dropping a lot of next gen only games. Avowed, Fable, you know what I'm
They
saying?
should. They got the Game Pass shit. That's the perfect company to just be firing off next gen constantly when you have Game Pass.
Yeah, so they want to get to a point where every quarter, I think he said Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, he said every quarter they want to come out with a banger like for Game Pass day one. I'm like, bro, Game Pass, you got it. If you're a gamer, you have to have Game Pass. I hate how these like Sony heads, like the PlayStation fanboys, act like, fuck that, Xbox trash, Xbox got no games.
Nah,
Like,
not
bro,
no
like
more. Not no more.
they
It was like
they're
that
making
for a
it,
while, but
yeah, hell yeah, for sure. I
not no
stuck
more.
through the bad days, man. They gotta send me a trophy because I really stuck through with Microsoft through that whole gen. I owned the PS4 a couple times as well as an Xbox, but
You stayed down. Yeah.
I
You
stayed
always
down.
had an Xbox.
They definitely deserve just I deserve something. But yeah, so they showed that off. They showed off a lot of things that slipped in my mind. I wish I had a list in front of me, but they went
I
hard
mean,
to me.
that's
They
what's most
really sold
important
Game
is the
Pass.
biggest shit that you actually really remember. Because like this E3 was a dry E3. Like overall,
Yeah,
it was a dry E3. It's just kind of good to have it back. I feel like we're caught in the hype of not having an E3 to be like,
yeah,
it's back. Okay, we're gonna like whatever they give us. Not whatever, but like, you know, the big shit is like
yeah, true.
stick out.
And
Like
they like ended like they showed off to like at the end of it some game called Redfall, which is being made by Arcane Studios. They made like the Dishonored series. I don't know if you ever heard about it, but it's
I
like a stealth based. It's a first person. It's not a shooter. It's a first person. Like you have a sword, and you
mm,
can have a gun too, and like it's a stealth based game. So like you can go in somewhere guns blazing, or you can stealth take out guys. You have a bunch of powers and stuff, and it's dope. So they made that game and a bunch of other games. So now they're making some game called Redfall, and it went a little viral on Twitter because one of the characters it takes you play as vampires, and
ooh.
like one of the characters is a black chick, and she like actually looks black, like, and she's fine. Like normally, like when
What's
video
up?
games make black women, like they be fucking with it, like. She's never like no offense, but there's always like some light skin joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wearing straight hair, something like. But this one, like, she's
Oh, I see
fine. She's
her.
like,
Yeah, the
she's dark.
curls,
So, oh, you looked her
everything.
up? Yeah, the hair looks fire. Like, I'm like, yo, this is like a black woman done right.
Shout out to Xbox.
Like, she looked black, like with the black features and all that. I'm like, yo, that's
Layla
what's up.
Ellison. Yep, I see this shit. That's cool. That's representation, man. Look at the industry. Look at the industry remembering
Yeah,
black people
and
exist.
that's not even like a reskin of somebody. That's like an original character. So
I know
no
we
one
always
can say
get
nothing.
these skins.
Yeah, so I think Xbox did really well. They really sold Game Pass.
Did they do
If you
better than
didn't, if you
Nintendo?
weren't a believer before, hell yeah,
You think they did better than Nintendo this year?
easy, hell yeah.
Really? Well, yeah,
So
you
that
gotta
actually
say
good
Nintendo's
segue, good segue. Um, so yeah, and then you got Nintendo. I thought theirs was kind of trash, to be
Breath of the
honest.
Wild 2, my nigga. Breath of the Wild 2 was
Breath of the DLC. That's what we're calling it now. Breath
Bro,
of the
ain't this a full
DLC,
of the shit? It's a sequel. They did a sequel. They did an actual sequel.
bro. I
Man,
read like a dev diary thing, and they confirmed that they're bringing back the weapon system, like how it breaks and shit. I'm like, that's the one thing I didn't like about Breath of the Wild.
that makes
Like,
the game though. That's part of the feeling is like everything
I
is
don't, I
scarce.
don't, I don't want no, I don't no, I don't like it.
I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. I would have wanted a little bit more from that trailer because Breath of the Wild 1 exists. If Breath of the Wild 1 didn't exist, and like you said, if this was just some DLC and it was just part of the original game, then cool. This it definitely was.
They
I mean, I don't
okay,
know.
and it
This is the reveal. They gave us like
yeah.
a cinematic before. Like this is the actual reveal. Then there's still a lot of shit we don't know. Pete, we never even seen Link's face in that entire trailer. Everything
Nah,
we
we did for a couple of things.
nah. I mean, we
So
see
have you
like
read?
the CGI shit, but like we didn't
Yeah,
see once it was
that
actual
wasn't no
gameplay.
CGI. That was like, yeah, that shit looked the same as Breath of the Wild. You gotta admit that to me. The
No,
graphically, it
no,
looked
it did.
exactly the same.
Cutscene rather. But I'm saying in actual
Yeah.
gameplay, because this could be, very early on in the game where yeah, he looks the exact same, but he has long hair in all the gameplay sections pretty much, and you
Hmm.
never see his face. So it's like okay, if that's changed, who knows what else changed? He got like a cyber arm and shit. He don't have the Sheikah Slate shit no more. It's all in his arm apparently.
Yeah. Oh, you read about that? I was about
Yeah,
to bring that up. I think that sounds pretty dope. Like, oh, that's pretty cool.
that's hard. He did the nigga.
I guess the
He
arm's like
used the
infecting him
force.
or something.
Nigga
Yeah.
used the
Okay.
Star Wars force. He had the ball coming at him. He put his hand out, stopped that shit in time, and then just pushed it back. Nigga, that's fire. That's fucking fire.
Well, like, okay, he can stop time again and do all the Mashika Slate powers, and this it looks the same. Okay,
I
are they
dive.
gonna make Hyrule look different? They better.
They have to. They have to. Because it's in the sky now. We wasn't. That's the one thing. Well, not the one thing. There's two things Breath of the Wild 1 was missing for the big open world it had. One was underwater, and two. Well, no. Okay, three things. One was underwater. Two was like underground in caves and shit like that. You didn't have a lot of that. And three was in the sky.
Okay,
So
so
they're doing the sky
here's
shit.
here's my potentially unpopular opinion. I think underwater gameplay in games is trash.
Yeah, no, not unpopular opinion. So I'm okay with them not doing it in Zelda because they tried it a couple times. Water Temple, we know. I'm okay with
Remember them?
underwater.
Remember Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire? How much underwater stuff it had?
Yeah,
You had to dive, and I hated that
that
part.
was
Those
the
parts
way.
of the game.
Cooj going forever crucify me for not liking Ruby and Sapphire for that very reason. I mean, I like it.
I mean, I love them. It's just I don't like that part, and I think they could
That's
have did
half of the
more with the
map, my
bases.
nigga. That's
I
half of
know,
the
right?
map.
And they could have did more with the bases. Like the bases were kind of pointless.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit they could have fixed about it, but like the remake,
But
cool. Um, but Zelda, back to Zelda, because we not gonna act like Breath of the Wild 1 wasn't an industry shaping experience, my nigga. We're not gonna act like that was
it
one of the
was.
greatest games ever made. So the sequel
I
to
don't. I think okay. I think it's overrated in this way, right? I think it's like a 9 out of 10, but everyone tells me it's a 10 out of 10. I'm like, yeah, it's like a 9 out of 10.
it's at least 9.5. I can see you saying it's not perfect.
Nine.
It's not, but as an
I say nine.
experience, my nigga,
Because
you staying up all night,
okay, I loved it, but
like
two things I didn't like, right? I didn't like the weapon breaking system. I don't like the weapon system,
mhm.
and the side quests were trash. Collect these chickens, do this, do that. Like it's just lame. Like I love good side quests in games. Like one of my favorite games this past generation was The Witcher 3.
Which had hella
That
success.
yeah, oh you played it?
I haven't played it, but like I do my research, nigga. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. Yeah, The Witcher 3 side quest was so fire. Like they were really detailed, they're really like
It won a game
interesting.
award for that shit. It was like game of the year.
I
Like
think it was Game of the Year, yeah, probably.
hmm?
So I would love a Witcher
Got a
4,
Netflix show
but
and all that shit.
yeah, I know they're working on a Witcher 4 too, but they gotta fix Cyberpunk first. That's the same developer. That's why I thought Cyberpunk was gonna be so fire because I was like, yo, Witcher 3, one of my all-time favorite games. I put like almost 300 hours in that game.
See,
That's how much I love
I
that
felt
game.
that same way about
All
Breath
the
of the Wild.
DLC, all that.
I felt that same way about Breath of the Wild, and then guess what happened? I got the game and they delivered. See,
Yeah, I
what
mean, yo,
happens,
Breath of
like,
the Wild's fire, but
come on,
I
man.
just I
Like,
think it's a tad overrated. Like honestly, I feel like I've played better games, like open world games like that.
bro, this still random shit people are discovering about that game to this day, 4 years later. Different shit you can do with the physics, different shit you can do with like just manipulating the fires in that game, and just all the different random glitches you can find. That it's like Melee all over again, my nigga, where people are just gonna be constantly discovering new shit you can do with that engine. Like that's incredible, my nigga. So you can already imagine
Bruh,
what the second one's gonna do.
have you ever seen a game called Immortals Phoenix Rising?
Yes, Breath of the Wild, but Disney.
It's a Breath of the Wild ripoff for the most
Hercules.
part, but to me, it's more like I think it's a little better. The combat is more fun. It looks better just because it's on stronger hardware. Like it's not on a
I don't
damn.
think you
It's
could
not
have
held
more
back by a Switch.
combat in an open
Huh?
world. I don't think so, honestly.
You can have what?
I don't think you could have more fun open combat in an open world than in Breath of the Wild.
Nah, bro. Immortals, yo, you have like aerial battles. It's like, bro, you're kind of grounded.
Which they're doing in Breath of the Wild too, my nigga. Count me like
But by
100%
aerial
dead
battles,
if
I
I'm
mean,
wrong.
nah, bro. But what I'm
They're
saying is
doing
aerial
that
battles
in
isn't
Breath of
like,
the Wild too, because you can skydive and do all that shit. There's gonna be at least one
nah,
boss battle
bro.
in the air on some Shadow of the Colossus shit against a dragon or something. Like you're gonna do some sort of crazy aerial battle in Breath of the
Nah,
Wild.
but what I'm saying, okay, regular enemies that you just encounter on the map, right? If it's like a flying enemy, like a harpy or whatever, right? You have this one move where you can pull yourself to that enemy in the air. So I'll just be in the air slashing them up, till freaking rope myself to the next one, all in the air, just slashing crazy ass combos. And I'm like, yo, Breath of the Wild is not like that. It's
Nah,
like,
it's not.
you know what I'm saying? It's fun, like, for sure. 9 out of 10. That's a great game. Like, you
It's
know what
a
I'm saying? I played the shit out of it and I beat it. I didn't play the DLC though, but
well,
I got the Master Sword, I got the Hyrule Shield, I got all that.
two is gonna be a 10 out of 10. I'm calling that shit now.
Bro, I'm just okay. So and then that takes me to they better make a Switch Pro because their games are being held back by the hardware at this point.
You think so? I mean,
Hell
not
yeah.
you think so, because like it is what it is. Obviously, Nintendo's always not the most powerful systems in the world. So like I guess that's why I'm kind of like, oh,
But it's two behind now. It's like that. Okay, so I remember when they dropped the Switch, they said that they compared it to a PS3 in graphical power when it's docked to the TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
But
we're
it's
in
also a
2000.
fucking handheld. So no matter what, the Switch
But
Pro is gonna have
even when you dock
better
it, but
graphics.
it's both though. It's both though, because when you dock it to the TV, now it's a console.
But you got to take both into consideration. So even if they make a Switch Pro, I don't know what type of crazy graphical fidelity leap you're expecting, but it's still not going to be like up to the PS4,
Okay,
the
and that's
PS5.
fine. But bro, a PS3. Okay, let's
Fire
just a
game, and
PS3.
I can take it on the go, my nigga. I'm sorry, I'm taking that over the
We're in
graphics.
2021, bro. Like, okay, at least make it as strong as like a PS4. Like, damn, a PS3.
Yeah, now, honestly, like I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that's the magic of taking it on the go. Yeah, it has kind of worn off, but that I just think we can't understate that, and that's always gonna hold back the graphics,
Okay. So right now, currently, there's actually this PC tablet, right? I
Mhm.
forgot what it's called, but it's expensive. It's like $1,500.
Which they'll
But that
never.
shit is like a beast. Yeah, Nintendo will never do that, but it's a beast. Like I can play games
Mhm.
like a console quality. I'm like, oh shit. That if I had like mad money laying around, I would buy it. But
So if Nintendo made one of a Switch with that power at like $800 $900, so that it's
it's
also
not selling. It's not selling
it's
the
not
same
selling
way this Switch did.
exactly. That's
Only
what
like the hardcore like people that would want that would
it's a
buy it.
balance, man. Nintendo always got this balance
But
of
okay, I'm not asking for that. I'm not even asking for next gen. I'm asking for last gen.
last gen.
Is that really crazy to ask for? I'm asking for last gen. I'm not even asking for the current gen.
It's yeah, that's not crazy, and it's gonna happen. I think they will do a Switch Pro. I just don't think they're doing it this year. I think all those rumors
Like,
about
bro,
it.
Imagine if they had like the Switch Pro like ready for developers so they can develop on it. Imagine a Breath of the Wild 2 on stronger hardware. Then you get better looking fires, you
I
get better
guarantee
looking
they're doing
dust and
that.
dirt,
I
you get
guarantee
better
they're
looking
doing that.
wind, you get better looking everything, more details, more textures, the rain puddles, and everything will look better. I'm like, why wouldn't you want that in a Breath of the Wild 2?
And that's what I was gonna say was I don't think we're getting Switch Pro this year because I think it's coming next year with around holiday season with Breath of the Wild 2.
But what's disappointing to me is Breath of the Wild 2 was clearly developed for original Switch.
Just like the Breath of the Wild 1 was clearly developed for the Wii U.
Yeah, but they look the same still. It's as strong as a Wii U, isn't it? It's not the Switch isn't stronger than a Wii U.
The Wii U was not as strong as the PS3. The
Okay, so
Switch is
maybe okay, all right,
the
all
Switch
right,
is an
cool.
upgrade from a Wii U. You can see
Marginal,
the difference between Breath of the Wild on a Wii U and Breath of the Wild on Switch. Absolutely,
but
you
it's
absolutely can. It's
but
very
it's marginal.
no, it's not. It's much more visible than you think.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's very visible.
I'm sure it's marginal. It's probably not
It's not. They had
crazy.
to use whole new lighting source and shit like that. Like the art style looks very different on the Switch because
Okay, now I'm gonna check it out. But
I think that's what it is. It's the art style works better with the Switch's capabilities in mind than it does on the Wii U. The Wii U definitely.
okay, but between Breath of the Wild 1 and 2, it looks the same. And I'm like, yo, Breath of the Wild 1 came out what 2017,
Yeah,
like a
this
couple
shit
months
was
after the Switch.
a while ago.
So I'm just like, yo, 4 years later, I would like to see some sort of improvement, and it looks the same. It's just like, damn, it makes me feel like
No,
this could
and
have.
because they didn't announce the Switch Pro yet, so I think that's why they're gonna show us the regular Switch version they have now. Even though when the Switch Pro comes out, yeah, they're gonna upres, they're gonna tailor it to that new experience.
Yeah, they'll up res and then maybe it'll have like slightly better stuff, but it's like you designed it for the Switch, so it's like it has to be able to run in that weak ass thing. So if you put it on the Switch Pro, it's probably not going to be that crazy of a
And we
difference.
calling it weak. Don't talk out your neck. Obviously, power wise, yes, I get what you're saying. It's still a Switch, right?
It's pitiful. And my thing, okay, in the Switch, in okay, so I hate Nintendo to be honest with you. I like the Switch. All right, so I had a Switch, but the only reason I had one is because I got it for free. Shout out to my boy Berto.
Shout out,
Um,
Berto. We love you
Shout
over
out
here.
Berto.
Game
For
Point
sure,
Podcast.
definitely love you. So my boy Berto got me one. And one thing I noticed, so I got it because I was working a job where I was like sitting around all day doing nothing, but I was outside, right? So I'm playing my Switch Breath of the Wild, and I noticed the screen is so bad that sun glare makes it impossible to play. Like if you're in the sun, that shit does not work. You can put the brightness all the way up, you can do whatever. It's
Mm,
unplayable in sunlight.
that's never happened to me. I
You
played
ever
it
you ever
in
played it
sunlight.
in sunlight?
Yes, I brought it to the beach and played it outside. That's never happened to me.
Bro, I was not able to play that shit in sunlight. The glare is so bad that like I can't even enjoy it. I'm like, yo, what is this? And that's because the
You
screen
don't remember
quality.
the Game Boy days. That's all it was. You wasn't outside for the Game Boy.
Bro,
Eyes.
this ain't 98, bro. Like this ain't 98. Talking about Game Boy Color or
uh,
come on, man.
I don't.
So like
Obviously, it could be better. I'm not gonna disagree with
so
you.
my thing, okay, so out of a Switch Pro, what I want, it needs a better screen. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least the
Obviously,
quality of an iPhone. Like, damn. It needs a better screen. Preferably like an OLED, like which is
needs
like
better
what
joysticks because them Joy-Con that drift problem.
yeah, that yeah, terrible.
I almost bought some new Joy-Cons yesterday for that exact reason. Just because I happened to see them when I was at Best
It
Buy.
needs better Wi-Fi, like a better Wi-Fi thing inside
Not,
of it. Why not?
not happening. It's Nintendo. You think they're
It's
on?
a pro though. Like just update. We're in 21.
That's their
Get the better
server. It
Wi-Fi.
has nothing to do with the system, nigga. That's their servers.
It's probably both. It's probably both of them, to be honest.
I don't think it has anything to do with the system. That's what I'm saying.
Because,
Like, we would get better Wi-Fi now if they were going to do it on the Switch Pro. Like it wouldn't be something they would hold off. They just get better servers.
bro, because yo, Nintendo that Switch online. When I used to play Smash when I had my Switch, that's just so laggy. And I was just like,
Yeah,
damn, bro.
and
Like Nintendo needs to overhaul their whole online thing, your whole party chat, the way you add friends, the way you do all they need to overhaul it. Like this friend code shit and all, it's so trash. and how laggy it is, how bad their servers are. That's why they need a partner with Microsoft and use some of them Azure cloud server, whatever it's called.
I think that's gonna happen sooner rather than later. Well, not sooner, maybe not
Because
sooner rather than later, but I think 10 years from now we could see a Nintendo Xbox.
I would hope so. And it's just like, yo, it's just
My franchise.
Nintendo, it's just poverty. It's like you get the lowest quality stuff. The joysticks don't work. It's old ass hardware.
But the
Strong as
games
a
are fire.
PS3.
Let's
But
get back to the
they,
games. Talking too much shit about my man's, man. You talking too much shit.
I'm just
That's
saying
my man's them.
that's what I'm saying. I'm just tired of Nintendo, bro. And like I'm glad they're doing some Metroid Prime stuff. I'm tired of y'all focusing on Mario, Zelda, Pokemon. I'm tired. I like
Zelda's
that
about to be
Arceus game looks dope though. The Arceus
Zelda's
game
about,
that's coming out
hell yeah.
looks dope.
Hell
I'm glad they're doing that with Pokemon
mm-hmm. That's a whole
because I was getting tired of Pokemon at the top down view and shit. I'm tired of that.
that shit's gonna be legendary. Like that. That's basically Pokemon Breath of the Wild, which is what everybody has been saying.
Yes.
Nintendo should do a Breath of the Wild type game with all their franchise. They should do a Metroid one.
Yes.
They did Mario one. Mario Odyssey was pretty much Mario Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild.
Mario Odyssey was dope. I played and beat it. It was
Was
dope.
that a 10 to you?
Okay, so
I think both them games are 10s.
I'm grading the Mario game like if I was a reviewer, I don't really think of anything wrong with it. So I would have to give it a 10. Like music's top notch, the gameplay and the power-ups and all that's top notch. The little everything's pretty much top notch. So I'm like, for a Mario game and what Mario games are supposed to be, I'm like, yeah, for a platformer, like it does
That's the best
everything
Mario
right.
game. I'm gonna say it. I'm not tiptoeing around. That's the best Mario game. I don't think there's been a better Mario game.
64 over Sunshine,
Mhm.
Galaxy, over all of those.
Yep. If I was the same age playing Mario Odyssey as I was when I played Mario Sunshine, as I was when I played Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, like if I was just 8, every time one of them games come out, I just happen to be an 8-year-old. There's no doubt in my mind I would have the best time with Odyssey.
Yo, why do people be shit talking Sunshine, man? I love Sunshine.
I love Sunshine. I did a whole project themed on that shit. Like Sunshine changed my life, my nigga.
Yeah, but
That's
people be
probably my
talking shit about Sunshine.
nah. I mean, people do talk shit about it, but like I think it's getting to that Wind Waker point where it's like everybody was like, huh, at first, but like people are really coming around to like the charm of it. It's janky. It's the jankiest Mario game. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It got the most glitches. It's the weirdest one, but like that's what makes it special. So like at the end, it's the young thug of Mario games. It's just like, what the fuck is this? But then you understand it and you're just like, oh, like I could listen to this for an hour. I could play with this. Like you get into it.
All right, and that like so Mario Odyssey, like I said, like I kind of feel you on that. Like it's kind of like perfect for a Mario game, like a platformer.
Yeah, it's
What
a
you want
perfect
out of a
platform.
Mario game,
I
it
wouldn't
gives
even
you
say it's a
everything.
Mario game. I think it's a perfect
Yeah,
platform.
for sure. Like Zelda, I have complaints, but like Mario Odyssey, I'm like, I don't have any complaints.
Mm,
It's not something I would have spent my money on, though. I'll tell you that. I'm
right.
not spending $60 on Mario Odyssey. No,
Different play styles. Different play styles.
like that's not the type of game I'm spending $60 on. That my type of game that I'm spending $60 on is those fucking bangers, like those graphically crazy, open world, good ass looking game.
Yeah, nah, yeah, like Zelda. Zelda is a lot more worth its
It's
price
not
tag
really
than Mario.
graphically impressive. Okay, yeah, Zelda, I probably would, yeah.
That's worth
But
$60
Mario, it's like, maybe like 30. I'd pay for Mario if anything.
You could probably do 50 because he is still Mario. You need to put some respect on it. He's gonna sell.
Mm,
He's gonna sell.
yeah,
But really, if I was putting a price tag on it, I'd say 40. I think a
yeah. So,
$40 Mario full Mario experience, like
but
Mario.
he's Mario. Then Nintendo's never. Nintendo is so shisty, bro, with the way they do shit.
That's
Like,
that's the Mickey Mouse of video games, though, my nigga. They can do that shit. Like there's
but it's like
only one.
this. That's true. That's a fact. That's a good
There's Michael
comparison.
Jackson for music, there's Mickey Mouse for cartoons, there's Mario for video games, my nigga. He's just that ubiquitous
He's
character.
that iconic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like we're just
I can
now
see
getting to
that.
the age because enough generations have gone by where people stop calling their video games Nintendo. Like people call their video games Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nigga, you could have the PlayStation 2. Niggas were still saying, yo, come by play
Well,
Nintendo.
that's the same people who would call Pokemon Pokemon. So
My dad used to call it that shit.
Pokemon, yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
Speaking
So
of, speaking of, because you said the Holy Trinity, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, right? Metroid is taking that Pokemon spot if this Arceus shit don't work. Which I think it will. I have faith in the Arceus game. I mean the Arceus game, but the way Nintendo is setting up Metroid right now, it's it's about to be out of here when Prime 4 comes.
why did Nintendo show off that Arceus game? Like, what are y'all doing?
Because Pokemon doesn't come to E3 usually.
For real? Oh, it'll
Usually,
probably come to like some.
sometimes it does, but like for the most part, the Pokemon company does their own shit separate from Nintendo with their releases and
Okay,
shit. So like
all
every
right.
now and X and Y, I think was the only time Pokemon itself was at E3 because that was the first 3D one. But ever
You
since
know
then,
what
Sun
would?
and Moon weren't there. Like
Yeah. You know what would be dope? Like, if that Arceus game had like, okay, the random encounters, right? If the Pokemon were actually right there in front of you,
mhm.
and not like you're just walking in grass and then it goes to the battle sequence. Like, I want the Pokemon. I know they're not gonna do this because the Switch probably can't even handle that. An open world thing where live moving stuff.
That's what it
But
looks like, though. That's exactly what the Arceus shit looks like. I think
I'm
that's
saying I want the Pokemon to be out there in the wild, like for
That's
real.
what
Like, I
I'm
don't.
saying, nigga. They did that in Sword and Shield. They just didn't do it right. The graphics were shitty.
But Arceus is gonna do that though, right?
That's what it looks like. Hell yeah. That's what I'm
I
saying. Is
hope
Arceus
so. I
looks like
hope
Breath of
so.
the Wild shit.
Because I feel like what it's gonna be is you walk in just a plain open field, you walk, and then the music starts playing, like like
Nah,
how Pokemon's known for.
from the trailer, it looked like everything is just out in the actual wild, and like they're all
Okay, I hope so. That's dope if they do
because you
that.
can throw like there's like screenshots. There's definitely a battle kind of screen, like not a battle screen, but like the camera changes and shit. Like and it definitely looks like the battles are still going to be kind of similar to the original, but how you enter them
Yeah,
looks
like turn based, right? Like it's gonna be turn based.
yeah, like you can see okay, Pokemon 1 here, Pokemon 2 here. You can see Pokemon 2 going over to Pokemon 1, hitting them and going back. Like
Yeah,
there's footage of that already out. So I think that they're still keeping it turn based, but
I think that's cool. Like I don't
that's
mind
classic
that.
Pokemon. Like that's
Yeah, I don't
I'm
mind
always
that.
okay. I'm always okay with that. I would like
I
more.
need more than 4 moves though. I
Yeah,
need more than
more than
four
four.
moves.
Well, no, there's already only 4 moves. They did confirm that there's only 4 moves.
Why, man? That's just whack. Give
But
me
what
6.
what I'm hoping for is that you can control the Pokemon to make them dodge, to make them maybe defend, to make them aim their attacks or certain shit. Like I want
Yeah,
a
a
more
little more action in the.
yeah, like I love seeing their attack missed. I would love it even more if it actually looked like their fucking attack missed and I had something to do with it. Like nigga, I don't like when it's like, yo, this Pokemon did this shit and it just missed your nigga.
Yo, imagine if they made it
Smash
like
Bros.
all
Made it
oh
like
like
3D
tank
Smash
like Dragon
Bros.
Ball Z Tenkaichi.
Yeah,
Like Tenkaichi, bro. Like you're
yeah.
walking around, you see the Pokemon, you call yours out, then you take control of the Pokemon, and it plays like Final Fantasy VII Remake. You
Pokken,
know what I'm saying?
like Pokken, but
All
like
like that, but
bigger.
just not like a 2D, not like a 2D flat fighting game. Like
Well, Pokken
I'm
was
talking.
well, it was both.
Was it? Oh yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right.
It
You're
had
right. Yeah,
it
kind of
had
like.
like a phase switch thing where like you would start in like a 3D
Okay.
shit and it would go to like 2D once you hit a certain move and then you could combo them better, but then it would go back.
Like that action hack and slash, like Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah,
like Final Fantasy VII remake. Imagine you throw the Pokemon out, then you switch the control of the Pokemon, and you could do that crazy shit.
yeah.
That'd be fire, yo. I
And
I would be like, damn, I might need a switch if
that
they
way the
drop
four
that.
moves would make sense because then you could just make every Pokemon like, okay, these are the four things it can do, and that each one will get stronger. It has different variations, like if you get a Charmander, he starts off with a scratch, he starts off with like, a dodge attack, he starts
Yeah,
off
and you only have one move, and
and
then
then he has his regular fire, but his regular fire it starts as Ember, but then as he gets stronger, you get flamethrower instead of Ember, and like each of the moves are like different shit that it can do.
yeah, and 4 buttons, 4 moves. So it's like square, a PlayStation square is scratch, triangles, ember,
Yeah,
circle, tail whip. What's it called? Tail whip,
tail
whatever.
whip and shit. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
that's
saying. Like
shit.
they should do that.
They should do that.
That'd be fire, but I know they're not gonna do that, so I ain't getting my hopes up for that.
Not yet.
Nintendo is not doing that.
But
They would need a Switch Pro for that.
back to the
No, I'm serious. They would need a Switch Pro for that.
fuck you and your Switch Pro, nigga. But back to saying that Metroid, I think could get
Oh yeah, my fault. Yeah, yep.
that Pokemon spot. One, because again, Pokemon Company kind of does their own thing, so I don't think Nintendo's gonna treat them like they're part of that big three anymore. And that I think evidence of that is in the fact that we didn't see Pokemon at this E3, even though we had a Pokemon Direct like 2 months ago with clearly shit that's coming out this year. They could have had Diamond and Pearl remake there. They could have maybe had another Arceus trailer. Like they could have put some Pokemon shit there. But Metroid, man, Metroid Dread is looking phenomenal. I'm very
Yeah,
much
it looks dope.
that. Like I've really become a Metroid fan over like the past, I'd say half decade. It really hasn't been that long. But Prime 4, heavily anticipated, obviously. That's gonna be huge. They announced that like three ago, and
Prime 4 needs to be a first person shooter, bro. Where you're in the suit, the Samus suit, and you get different gadgets or whatever. Like, it needs to be something dope like that.
that's all they do with Prime. That's why I'm not ashamed. I mean, I'm not scared of what Prime's gonna be at all because like they haven't made a bad Prime game. They always deliver those. But the fact that they're even saying, okay, we're gonna make a 2D Metroid game. This is Metroid 5, right? Because the original Metroid story is like it's Metroid 1, then it's Metroid 2 on the Game Boy that they remade a few years ago on 3DS. Then there's Super Metroid, and then there's Metroid Fusion for the Game Boy Advance. That's like the chronological order of like the story and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Metroid Fusion and the Prime games are all like prequels. Metroid Fusion was the last game in that like chronological order, and that was on the Game Boy fucking Advance in 2004. And in 2006, they were saying they were making a Metroid Dread game for the DS, and like there's all these new interviews coming out that the developers are doing now that like Metroid Dread has actually been announced, and they said they never had the technology to make the idea that they had for Metroid Dread work. But it's always been called Metroid Dread. They tried to make it on the DS, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Make it on the GameCube, that didn't work. Like they've been trying to make this game, and now that weak ass console you keep shitting on, they finally have the strong enough technology to actually make their idea work on. So
So Metroid Dread probably could have ran on a PS3.
maybe, yeah.
Hell yeah, it could have. If the PS3 was running God of War and shit like that, the
Nah, I'm
PS3
saying
could
I don't know if
definitely
they're gonna
run.
do motion shit. I'm not gonna say that because some of the motion shit that they might work into it, like I don't know if that's what they mean by
Oh
technology.
yeah, true. Yeah.
Because shooting and shit has come a long way since motion controls have become a thing, and the Switch has the best motion control that has ever existed. Honestly, like the little IR shit in it, that is the best motion control. Like in terms of a controller, that technology has put on a
Yeah.
major console at the very least. There might be some shit that only came out in Japan that nobody knows about that's more powerful and more precise. But when we're talking Connect and obviously all the shit that copied the Wii, like none of that came close to the Wii. And
No,
the
I
Wii
didn't.
U had a better motion control than that, and the Switch has a better motion control than the Wii U. So if nothing
The
else,
Wii U was a failure though.
yeah, we don't speak about that. but but
But
Metroid that looks dope. It looks super dope that they're returning to 2D and they're
bruh,
making it Metroid 5.
I need Nintendo. Okay, so I need a Star Fox game, right? But here's what I need. I need it to be kind of like Ratchet and Clank, but Star Fox.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're gonna have that with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Fuck them. I honestly, bro, I'm not someone who loved the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like they're cool, like they're good.
Nah, that nigga fucked up the whole Avengers movie, my nigga. I don't
Yeah,
give
but
a fuck about Star Lord.
yeah, nah, he
That's
did.
that shit.
You know, he was whipped. But it wasn't. I'm talking about their movies, the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. Like they're good, but it's just like I don't care about them. I really don't. Star Lord is a fake Han Solo. Like I'm really not.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That's not why though. I don't care. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of talking shit. But I'm just not. I'm not. I don't really like. I don't want to play as them in a video game. They're
Nah,
not
not
that
at
dope
all.
to me to where I want to do that. So I need Star Fox to be kind of like Ratchet and Clank, but you're Star Fox.
Star
Give
Fox
me
is
some of that.
better, though. I hate
Give
to
me
be
some of that ROing action. Give me some of the Landmaster action. You know what I mean? But
lucky to get
in
that in
like not,
Metroid.
it don't even have to be an open world, but just make it like it could be like a sandbox style, but it's Star Fox, and you got the missions. You got this. Remember Star Fox Adventure for the GameCube with the
Yeah,
dinosaurs?
Star Fox Zelda.
They should make it like that, but just like maybe a little more action based and like a little. I don't know. Star Fox could be fire though.
I'm hoping they just do that with Metroid because I don't think they're gonna do it on Star Fox for a while. They got no idea what to do with that franchise. It's basically it's
Bro, I
gotten to
should
the
be
point
a
where this
game
nigga just
developer.
won't
Like,
smash. Honestly, really.
great segue. Smash.
How you feel about Kazooie?
Who asked for Kazuya? I need to know.
The
Who
nigga that
asked for
made
that shit?
Kazuya asked.
See, and that's what pisses me off about Nintendo. I feel like they don't really go by what the fans want. They go by who gives them the bag.
False. False.
That's what I think.
False. Look at Smash
A new
Bros.
Tekken game must be coming out somewhere, huh?
Look at Smash Bros. Ultimate this entire time. Like it's been, I don't want to say nothing,
Okay.
but like,
Persona, dude. Persona 5 is a recent game.
yep.
So I'm sure those developers probably hit up Sony, like I mean not Sony, probably hit up Nintendo like here. So we put them in Smash Bros.
Sakurai liked Persona 5 a lot, so that was why like he reached out and it was like boom. I know like all the stories
Okay.
behind DLC characters because I'd be like, why the fuck did this nigga go in
Sephiroth,
it? Fire.
Final Fantasy 7
Fire.
remake. Okay, sure, yeah,
No,
but
fuck
they put
that.
them in there
Fuck
because of
the
Final
remake.
Fantasy 7.
Fuck the remake. We need to put respect on Sephiroth's name real quick because that is one of the greatest video game
I
villains.
love Sephiroth. His theme song, the One Winged Angel, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Fire.
Legendary, my nigga.
That's my song. I love Sephiroth.
Legendary.
But that's besides the point. My point is
He's earned it.
Square Enix made Final Fantasy 7 remake, and they said, "Yo, we want for promotion, we want Sephiroth and Smash.
But
You can have
Cloud
Cloud and Sephiroth."
Cloud was in before remake came out.
Yeah, but they probably for Sephiroth they were like, "Yo, we can have Cloud and Sephiroth in there to promote the game."
I mean, that helps. Like, you can't act like that doesn't exist. But I think it had a lot more to do with the fact that Sephiroth is just one of the greatest villains.
How okay, yeah, fine. But how about how they keep jam packing it with Fire Emblem characters? It's because they want to sell those games in America. Because those games don't sell in America. That's why they keep throwing them in Smash Bros, hoping that the American audience is gonna buy it.
The only reason we know about Fire Emblem is because they was in Smash Bros.
But okay, you're making my point for me. It worked. So that you're telling me that they do it for the bag. They don't put who people actually want.
Fire Emblem is the one franchise where that's okay because Smash Bros made Fire Emblem out here. Melee made these niggas have a game out here. They didn't have no games out here before they was in Melee. Roy wasn't even in any game before Melee. Literally, a Fire Emblem character debuted in Smash Bros before he was in his own game. So, Fire Emblem, as crazy as it is, they keep giving us super characters. I feel like, all right, I'll respect the exception because of that tied legacy of, okay, you made this whole series hot with this. So go ahead, put these niggas in. Like, it is what it is. Fighting game could always use sword characters. Obviously, there's way too fucking many, but like they do play differently. So like, I'm okay with it.
And it's like, and I remember with Snake, for example, like Kojima begged them, Sakurai or whoever, to put him in the game. So he threw them a bag.
He wanted to have him in Melee. He
got put in Brawl, right?
He wanted to put Sonic and Snake was supposed to be both in Melee. I mean, not both. Snake was supposed to be in Melee. Sonic was added to Brawl very late, but they wanted to have him in like super early. They just didn't know.
Bro. So I just feel like Nintendo puts people in Smash based on who throws them the bag to promote their video game. They don't really go heavily by it.
Banjo-Kazooie ain't have shit coming.
Okay, fine. Microsoft probably threw them a bag, but fine.
Dragon Quest had a new game, but Dragon Quest is like one of the biggest franchises ever in Japan. So like that made sense. So
they probably wanted to sell more in America too.
Yeah, and nigga, you can never take that away, nigga. Every time someone does something to sell, of course they're gonna be like, okay, well I have this product.
That's my point. They don't go really based. Okay, yeah, Banjo, fine, I'll give you that, but they rarely go by what people actually want. We would have been got Knuckles if that was the case. We would have been got.
King K. Rool. They're making a new Donkey Kong game without King K. Rool. Like all the new games have had no King K. Rool in it at all. They don't acknowledge this nigga at all.
Okay, who asked for King K. Rool? Good question. That's what I'm talking about.
People. Matt, he was crazy when they did that ballot shit, nigga, and all the results came out. King K. Rool was very high. Like I wanted King K. Rool. I've been wanting King K. Rool since bro. I was hyped.
But okay, fine. But recently they haven't been doing that. None of these
the other DLC characters. That's the nigga from Arms.
Piranha Plant.
Makes sense. Piranha Plant was free. We're not counting Plant.
Terry Bogard from Rival Schools.
From SNK.
Is that what it's called? Oh, SNK, whatever.
Fatal Fury or Final Fight, or
I forgot what it's called.
That was a bag. But it also made sense because it's SNK. Like that, it's not the biggest. Like it is super niche, but like SNK's classic that's been around forever. Like that's a very old character that obviously niggas aren't like they had no new game to promote. It was just SNK supported the Switch for a while, so they got all the Neo Geo games. They got all Terry's games on the Switch online. So like yeah, put him in. Like he's not a legend, but he's a legacy character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's just like I don't know. I don't feel like they listened as much as they could have. Like people have been asking for Sora from Kingdom Hearts for so long.
Disney said no.
Does Disney own the rights to Sora though? They probably own the rights to Donald, and obviously they own the rights to Donald and Goofy, but the Disney stuff.
Not half.
But they don't own Sora.
No, yeah, they don't own Sora. They co-own Sora, and if you're gonna do anything with Sora, you have to have Disney Channel. You can't.
And they're gonna want a bag.
Exactly. So Disney said no. Like,
but I want to look there. Like I feel like Square is the one that owns Sora.
They co-own it with Disney. But again, like this is Smash Bros. Smash Bros gives you a stage, they give you music. They don't just take a character.
Yo, Disney's just out here strong arming people. Huh? They said not only are we gonna let you use our Disney people, but we want to own your guy too. Like, damn. Like,
pretty much, nigga. Like
it's just sticking people up out here.
Yo, niggas been talking about the Illuminati for years. Nigga, it's just Disney. That's all the Illuminati is, nigga.
Bro, Disney owns the MCU and Star Wars. Like, damn.
It's
and Fox now. Like, sheesh.
We're watching the Disney takeover, honestly.
Like, for sure. But yeah, so you got the Sora thing. Yo, tell me this wouldn't have been a fire idea.
Huge.
Minecraft Steve. They did it for Minecraft.
That makes sense though. That's the biggest game in the fucking world.
But no one asked for him. That's what I'm saying. Give us people we're asking for. Like, okay.
That nigga. I guarantee you a bunch of little kids ask for that nigga. I don't play Minecraft like that, so like
fucking kids. But yeah, so like
all right,
my thing is like
hold up, I gotta put my charger in this shit.
Don't
die. You could have kept talking. I'm still right here.
Oh, my fault. Okay, my fault.
I was actually hoping you did keep talking so that it could be like a little less awkward when we edit. But
yeah, true. My fault. But
all good.
So yeah, my point being is like no one asked for him. There must be some second game in the works coming because
he's like friends with Sakurai. That's what I heard is like he's actually like just friends with the nigga. And
yeah,
that was what ended up happening with that.
Yeah, I wasn't excited when they announced it. I was kind of like, I thought Master Chief would have been dope too, and you got Halo coming out, so Microsoft threw him a bag.
I'm still hoping for Master Chief and Crash. Well, or Crash.
Crash would be fire too. Crash would be.
I think the last character is Crash. I think that's who the last character is.
Crash would be fire.
Yeah, that would be incredible. But we running out of time, so we're gonna have to wrap this up. Did I miss anything from the Nintendo? Obviously, Dread.
No, we talked about they showed all their random JRPGs coming to the Switch. I don't care about.
Mario Party looks cool. Mario Party looked very cool. I'm glad to have classic Mario Party.
Looked like Mario Party, yeah.
What was the other one? WarioWare.
Yeah, that looked all right. Switch cool. Pro, we need that. That better be coming, Nintendo.
We're going on your ass.
On your ass.
Shit.
This was fun, bro. This was fun.
Yeah, for sure. So we gonna be back in 2 weeks with another episode of this. I think we, just going through the footage from what we did today. Like I feel like we definitely have no shortage of topics.
Yeah, nah, not at all. I need you to get a Series S, get you that Game Pass, start experiencing gaming, bro.
I know I
Free yourself
do
from the
have to
shackles of Nintendo.
free yourself. The truth
Free
will set you
yourself,
free.
please. Get on Game Pass, bro. Play them games. Mad shit on there.
I absolutely will, brother. All right,
All
man.
right, man.
This has been the Game Point Podcast inaugural episode. Thank all the
Yes, sir.
listeners for listening. I
At
don't think
names,
we're gonna
at
keep the live
names.
footage. I'm looking rugged, so we'll probably just keep this
I'm
audio.
looking real. I'm looking. I'm cutting my hair on Saturday. I'm going back to the waves, bro. I'm cutting my hair on
Hey,
Saturday. I'm going back to the waves.
nigga, in time for the summer. You
So
gonna have them swimming all summer, huh?
yes, sir. So yeah, my Twitter, follow me on Twitter at All Eyes on Rich. That's eyes with a Z. All Eyes on Rich. Instagram big underscore Rich 41.
Sir.
And then pass it off to you.
And mine will be in the description. No, I'm kidding. Mine is
Throw
PLZ.
mine in the description too. Throw mine
To
up
the
in there
Bento.
too.
We gonna do this. We gonna do this. But yeah, we gonna keep this rocking. Thank everybody for joining us, and I'd like to thank my co-host for you know, giving us the platform because I definitely wasn't doing this shit by my damn self, and we always saw video games anyway. So it's like, why the fuck not, man? Like
Yeah,
let's
my
do this shit.
pleasure.
I'm glad this idea is coming to fruition, and
I love games, bro. I'm a gamer. So
we both some real gamers. So yeah, nothing but love, bro. Have a good night, and
all right, bro.
salute.
Holla at me.
Peace.